Hey everybody, how you doing? God bless you. So I was talking about this with somebody the other day, and I want to talk about why California is burning. Why are these things happening only in California? What's going on there? And why this is going on. But in order to do that, let's look at first what the name California, what it actually means. What does it mean when someone says California? Okay, so I have customers coming in, so I might have to go in and out. But okay, so you guys, so why are these things happening to California? Why are, we've heard prophets, whether they're false prophets or not, um, in the past, have said many people, judgment upon California, judgment upon California, judgment upon California, judgment upon California. And we have seen this happen, right? And so what California means, you guys, is it's a derivative from the word Caliph, an Islamic word having dubious relevance to America, and it can mean hot as an oven. Okay, um, but where this word caliph comes from, is an Islamic word, meaning which also translates or is tied to caliphate, right? So when when we look at this word, um, caliph or caliphate, which is where we get the word California comes. Okay, it's the leader of a caliphate. Okay, is called the caliph, meaning deputy, representative. All caliphs are believed to be the successor of the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, so you guys, when we look back into America, we know, and is a modern day Babylonian empire. It's a modern day Babylon, right? Well, back before, okay, when Muhammad came around, what he did is he got people in the Middle East, the Islamic descendant, the type of people who we would call Islamic. He got them. See, but before Prophet Muhammad came around, there was people like in the Babylonian time, Mesopotamia, and stuff like that. They worshipped the gods, right? It was the descendants of it was the Raphaim. They worshipped the gods, multiple lowercase g gods, right? And so they worshipped all these multiple type of gods, right? The main one was I forgot what his name was. The main god that they worshipped, the Babylonians worshipped, and he was a Raphaim. He was a son of the fallen angels. Okay, and so they had these multiple in those areas in Iraq, Iran, Syria, all of those areas, and the Babylonians and other civilizations, they worshipped the gods. But when the Prophet Muhammad came around, okay, he got people. His whole thing was he got a revelation from a divine being to worship the one and true God, right? So he transferred everybody from believing in or worshiping all of these little gods, little g gods, to worshiping the one God that they worship and praise and do things to now in Iraq and Iran, et cetera, which is they worship Allah now, right? That's the name of the God that they worship. But before that, in the Babylonian Empire, they worshipped the little case God, the little g gods. Okay, and one of those gods was a was a Nephilim. Okay, so so this word, right, is tied into this Islamic culture and this Islamic word, right? And so you guys, in the Babylonian time, in the Babylonian Empire, when they worshipped the little case god before the Prophet Muhammad came around, um, they had uh, they did idolatry. Okay, that's what they were doing in the Babylonian Empire. There was a lot of idolatries. They had different gods for different things, and there was a lot of idolatry. And Muhammad came around, and he was like, no, we're going to stop this idolatry, and we're going to worship who they call the one true God, right? And they have this sets of laws and things that they follow by. But our nation is known as a modern day Babylon, okay? And what people do here is, yes, they some people say they're Christian or they're Islam or they're this and they're that, but the reality is they worship little g gods, that lowercase gods, okay? They worship things like money, women, men, status. They worship material things and physical things, right? They and a lot, the big one today is money, right? Money and fornication. And what I mean by worship is, I mean that they spend most of their time while they're awake, most of their energy, most of their time, most of their thought on getting money or getting women or gaining things, gaining material items, right? This is what people in the Babylonian, they would make these sacrifices to these lowercase gods, and in turn, these lowercase gods would give them something in the physical realm, everything from a victory to pleasures to things that they desired, things that they wanted. There was gods of gold, there was gods for all of these things. And so when you look at California, this is what all of the idolatries that go all over the world, they are rooted in from California. Okay, we have the big tech companies in Silicon Valley, Facebook, a lot of these other big tech companies. A lot of them, it starts in California, right? We have pornography, right? Most of it, the world's pornography comes from California. We've got money, Hollywood. Most of that spreads all over our country, this nation, and sometimes the world is rooted from California, meaning its origins come from there, right? Sorry, you guys, I had a customer. So, yeah, you guys, these idolatries, just like, this word, Caliph, which it actually means like a successor of the Prophet Muhammad, but its origins are tied into the Islamic, that area of the world, which was Babylonia, where Iraq and Iran and stuff like that is. But, you know, uh, so that word is tied into over there. And back then, that area engaged, that it tried to lure, what they wanted to do was lure, what the enemy of Christ wanted to do was lure people in, lure Hebrews and believers into their way of life so that they could worship the lowercase gods and partake in their idolatries, right? And so that's where that word is tied from. So that's what the state of California means. These things, it's tied into those same things that were of long ago, dealing with idolatries and worshiping the lowercase gods, right? And so what we have here is the same thing happening again. So when when people pray against idolatries in the spiritual realm, okay, people who are true believers in Christ that have that authority, when you pray against idolatry, okay, and you're binding those evil spirits and you're tearing them down, it's going to translate into the physical state of California, because that's where these things are rooted from. Okay, that's where this pornography, Hollywood, big tech companies, money, all of that, a lot of that stuff that has spread over the world that has gotten people to sin was rooted from California. So when you battle against these things in the spiritual realm, that spiritual battle will manifest. There'll be a physical sign, and that's why a lot of these people dealing with the fires have said, we don't know how these fires started. Okay. Now, knowing this, you guys, knowing this information and this understanding, if there's people that live there, right, that now knowing this, that they don't want, to pray, now that if that makes you not want to pray, to continue to pray against those idolatries because you don't want this physical sign to manifest in the physical, that's not good. Okay, that means that that person's heart, that means first of all that they don't trust God fully. They don't trust his sovereignty, his protection as a father. But that means that there's something or things that is rooted in that person's heart that is not good, meaning that it is not of God. Okay, because there's certain things, attributes that come from God, you guys, and it's very clear, and other things, they don't come from God. So if the other things that don't come from God, where do they come from? The father of lies. Okay. But this is this where that, we are living in a modern day Babylon, and it's just like as it was in the Babylonian Empire back then, people worshiping the lowercase gods, right? Money, sex, all sorts of things, and moreover engaging in pharmakia, right? Pharmakia is the biggest form of witchcraft that is so widespread practice over the whole earth, right? That pharmakia puts people under a deception that makes people think that 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 makes people have a spirit, a lying spirit or a deceiving spirit over them. That makes evil spirits be able to go into people and influence and control them and influence their decisions. So I just thought I'd share this, you guys. I love you guys so much. God bless you all, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.